If you couldn't get your Ecobee thermostat to work with UniFi networks when you try to move it to different zones, this video is for you because I figured out how to do it on a recent consulting call. So let's take a look at what causes those problems and how you can fix it. Hey everyone, this is Ryan, the owner at Snowy Owl Security, your certified UniFi installer in Southwest Iowa. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the Ecobee thermostats and how you can make them work in a secure fashion with your UniFi install. Before we begin, please make sure to like and subscribe because we're going to have a lot more content and you don't want to miss it. But let's get started. I had a consulting client. They had a really high-end home, really beautiful home out in good old Colorado. And they had these Ecobee thermostats in all the different rooms. Pretty common thermostat, and as I discovered, they're actually made in Canada. So instead of just kind of the normal cheap Chinese IoT devices, these ones are actually a little bit higher end and probably a lot more safe to use. But the problem was when they tried to move the IoT device, or the Ecobee thermostats in this case, into a different zone in their zone-based firewall, it didn't work. And they were just flabbergasted that the thing didn't work, right? So just in case you don't remember, zone-based firewalls, right, allow us to create different zones. We can put different networks in those zones, and then we can apply rules to those zones. So what we want to do, right, with something like an IoT device is put it in a zone where we block its ability to talk to other zones, but we're still going to allow it to go out to the internet so it can get updates and we can use it using a cloud system. And the Ecobee thermostats, right, this is a pretty straightforward thing. So what we did was we created a zone called IoT. And in the IoT zone, we blocked the access for the Ecobee thermostats to be able to get to the gateway. But we had to leave a couple of ports open because if you block all access to the gateway, guess what? The device is just not going to work. Now, in this case, we opened up ports on the gateway for DHCP, DNS, NTP, as well as ping. This is really standard, right? Because often our gateway is the DHCP server, so we leave ports open for that so your devices can get an IP address. We do leave it open for DNS so that the devices are able to reach out to the internet and resolve web addresses. I leave NTP open because oftentimes the devices rely on a reliable ping, so you can open up port 123 for timing. And then the last one is ping. I leave ping open because it's not a port per se, it's just a protocol. But a lot of times devices, IoT devices, need to be able to ping the gateway to kind of verify connectivity. So we want to allow that ping to go through there. We had all those normal rules in there. And on Ecobee's website, they said, hey, you need to make, our thermostats are going to reach out to our cloud service, right, using port 443. This is a standard encrypted HTTPS port, right, for secure web browsing. And on the IoT to external zone, we did not have any ports blocked. We left it open, and yet, despite that, it wasn't working, right? And I was like, this is just really weird. So to figure it out, I actually used the flows inside of UniFi, and I'll show you how we do that in a second. But basically, flows allows you to see all the different traffic in basically real time going through your gateway. So what I did was I made sure that all the right flow logging was on, and then I moved the IoT devices into a zone that was pretty well open, right? And what I saw was that I saw the IoT devices opening up and a secure connection to the Ecobee actual IP address up in Canada. And I noticed that they were using port 8190. And so I was like, well, that's interesting because 8190 is not blocked. But then I noticed this really weird thing. They would open up the port and I would see it come from the zone that we were in, that I put the devices in. But then I also saw that same port open up from the trusted zone, which was our internal zone, going out to the gateway. And I said, well, that's weird, right? And so I did a little bit of digging. And what I realized is that when these particular devices go to open up a secure tunnel, they need the port not just open on external, but they also need it opened on the gateway. So I went ahead and created a rule to open up port 8190 on the gateway itself if the destination was just that one specific IP address for Ecobee put it back on the IoT, and voila, everything worked. So I'm going to show you how to do it, because what I noticed online is that the Ecobee thermostats are super frustrating. People are like, why does this crap not work? And oftentimes the advice that you get from lesser installers, keynote to go check out the website and use us as your installer. But what you notice from lesser installers is that they'll say the UDM Pro just doesn't do it and UniFi can't make this work. That's a bunch of freaking nonsense, okay? Don't believe those people. All you have to do is actually sit down, do a little bit of troubleshooting. Heaven forbid you actually learn how to do these things, right? And then you can actually figure out what the heck is wrong and go ahead and fix it. So I'm going to show you in the next parts of this video exactly how I figured it out using insights, and then what exact firewall rule to put in for whichever zone you choose to put these in, so that way you can make these Ecobee thermostats work and you can be way less frustrated versus what it took me about an hour and a half to figure out. So let's take a look at what I did and how I did it so that you can do the same thing. Okay, so we're on the test environment here, and let me show you what I did to figure out the problem and then how I put that firewall rule in. So on the test environment here, first thing you want to do is verify that you actually have the right level of logging set up. So you want to go to the settings, go to cyber secure, go to traffic logging, and you want to make sure that your flow logging says all traffic and that your flows have all the different flows checked on here. So that way you'll actually see the different flows as they come through. Please note that if you are on a UDR7 or on the UniFi Express 7, you may not have the option to select all flows. You might be limited to only selecting block traffic. So just keep that in mind. For some of the cheaper consoles, you don't have that option. So now that we have all the flows, what I was able to do, and I don't have the Ecobee set up here, but I went into clients and I selected the Ecobee, so we can just pretend that this is the Ecobee. And when you click on here on Insights, it will actually show you all the flows that are related to your device. And so I clicked on View All Flows, and then I made sure to select 1 hour. Otherwise, it tries to typically load all the flows for a week, which might take a little bit of time. And now I could actually see everything that was communicating. And that's where I was able to click on and notice that there was the different flows that were coming from that particular Ecobee, and that they were using port 8190. And it appeared that you had to have 8190 open, not just on the external zone, but also going to the gateway. So in order to do that, we'll go to the zone-based firewalls, which are right down here. And you can see down here, right, I have an IoT zone that I set up. Notice that the IoT zone, right, by default, because of how we set this up, it can't reach the internal zone. That's a good thing. We can allow the internal zone to go to IoT if we want to, but we want the IoT going to internal not to happen. That way, if somebody was to break in to your IoT devices, in this case, the Ecobee thermostat, they wouldn't, or they would certainly have a much more difficult time trying to get across your network laterally and getting onto a different subnet. They'd be stuck in this IoT zone, which would be good. So that way your other devices aren't at risk. Now over here on the gateway, you can see that we have a couple of allow rules to allow the anything in the IoT zone to get DHCP, DNS, NTP, and ICMP, and then everything else is blocked. But we need a rule to be able to allow this device, these Ecobee thermostats, to be able to get out to the internet. And even though in here, IoT to external, everything is allowed, it doesn't work unless you go into the gateway and put in the following rule. So let's create that rule. We're going to call this allow Ecobee, got to spell it correctly, to port 8190. Okay. And the source will be the IoT zone, and it can be coming from any port because they will use different unassigned ports. We're going to allow, and then on the gateway, it's going to be a specific port, and we're going to put in 8190. Now, we're going to have it as IPv4 because they were using an IPv4 address. And then if you wanted to really nug this down even more, if you had a little bit more security, you could actually put the IP address of the Ecobee server itself. So that way it's only that IP address, only that port. We'll leave it as any for right now. Make sure you click this one that says system logging. So this will tell you, this will actually make sure it appears in the traffic flows. And then we're going to leave it on a schedule of always, and then click on add policy. Now, when you add that policy, notice it's below the block IoT to gateway. That's not any good because it'll never execute because everything gets blocked before that. So we're going to click on reorder, drag it up there, and hit done. And now our Ecobee will be able to communicate with the gateway using 8190, and then it will also be communicating all the way out to the internet in a secure fashion to the Ecobee server up in Canada using port 8190. And that's all you got to do. Nothing else too crazy, and you can leave the Ecobees in this IoT zone and be able to lock them down so that way they can't hurt anything else on your network while still getting all the functionality that those Ecobee thermostats have. And that's it. That's all you need to keep your Ecobee thermostats working in a secure UniFi environment. Hopefully you found this helpful. If so, throw us a like or a positive comment below. If you're from Iowa, throw us a corn emoji because we love corn emojis. And until next time, I hope you stay safe and secure out there on the internet.